Hi, and welcome to this lesson on haiku, which is a style of Japanese poetry. And by the end of this, you should be able to create your own haiku. Now, these are haikus, not haiku, great TV show, not what we're doing. Haiku. A haiku is a poem that follows a specific structure. This is the only rule with a haiku. Now, traditional haikus are about nature, but when you write your own, you don't have to focus it on nature, but that's just kind of the history of it. What it does have to do is follow this structure. It's 3 lines only. First line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7 syllables, and the third line again has 5 syllables. A reminder that syllables are the sounds in a word. And so that's kind of like the dictionary definition of it. But if you remember, like in elementary school, they would have you like clap each syllable, or like when I was in elementary school, you put your hand on your chin and counted each syllable. So let's take the word syllable. If you put your hand under your chin and say syllable, you can hear and kind of feel whenever your chin dips down, that's a syllable. So syllable, 3 syllables in the word syllable. Like the word water, for example, water. My chin goes down 2 times. It has 2 syllables. That's how I learned to do it. Some people learn like syllable and they clap. Whatever way you learned or whatever way works best for you, if the chin thing is a revelation and you like it better, use that. But make sure when you write your own haiku that it is 5 syllables, not 5 words, 5 syllables in line 1, 7 syllables in line 2, and 5 in line 3. Looking at an example, we have January by Paul Holmes. The bell's going to ring here in a minute. I apologize. January by Paul Holmes. Delightful display. Snowdrops bow their pure white heads to the sun's glory. So we have delightful, 3, display, 5. Snowdrops bow their pure white heads, 7. To the sun's glory, 5. So we have that 5, 7, 5. It is also, again, yours doesn't have to be, but it is about nature. I think January, we come from a cold, dark winter in November and December. I know November is technically fall, but we come from a cold, dark winter, and at the end of January, towards the end of January, we tend to see a little bit more sun, and I think that's what Paul Holmes is trying to get here, like going into or seeing that first.
Mishawaka students, happy Thanksgiving. Have a nice break.
I hope you do too. I lost my train of thought with that. I was going to get into it, but it's fine. Just again, vivid imagery about the snow and the changing of seasons. Oh, like the hope for spring, the hope that spring will come soon. I would argue that February might have been a better title for this poem, but I'm impartial to January. That's when my birthday is, so I'm with Paul Holmes on this one. Now, when you go to write your own haiku, remember, poetry is in everything. Even if you're writing a poem about the things that you see around your room, that's poetry. If you're writing about, like, if I wrote about how good this water in my water bottle is, poetry. If I wrote about how the announcements kept interrupting me every 5 seconds today while making videos, poetry. Poetry's in everything, and it doesn't have to rhyme. Again, the poem that I read before didn't rhyme. Poetry doesn't have to rhyme. Haikus are really hard to rhyme. If you want to try to rhyme your haiku, go ahead. I find it very difficult because word choice is like the piece de resistance in haikus. So try your best if you want to, but again, don't get caught up in it if you can't make it rhyme. Try to incorporate as much as you can in a little amount of words. This is just kind of my way of saying, remember, you only get 5 syllables. 7 in the first line, 7 syllables in the second, and 5 syllables in the last line. Looking back at January, he wanted to use the word delightful. That's great for him. It was 3 syllables for that one word. So he had to be very careful with the words that he chose after, or I guess the word that he chose after, because he only had 2 more syllables to work with. So you have to make sure that when you are choosing, when you're writing your poems, Don't think, oh, 5 words, 7 words, 5 words. It's not, it's syllables. So make sure that you're listening or like counting them out, whether it be this or the clapping thing, whatever works best for you. But make sure you do follow that structure. That's a big part of the assessment portion of the haiku. So yeah, poetry's in everything. You can write your poem about whatever you want. Your poem doesn't have to rhyme. Follow the structure as best as you can. Good luck!